You're listening to iCannabisRadio.com.
Good afternoon, Colorado. I am Samantha Walsh, and this is the Hemp Connoisseur Radio, and I am all by myself today. David got a little bit caught up at the amazing and history-making job fair today. What? I turn off the fan, please?
Sorry.
Right here while I'm on the radio? You want me to turn off the fan? Mm-hmm. I don't know how to do that.
I got it. I'm just playing with you. Oh, well, she's doing it. Multitasking.
So I'm just being Chris. I could pretend there's someone here. There's dogs here, but we can just. I guess we just get started. We can talk about. Let's see. There's this amazing job fair today in Denver. I heard, David happens to be there right now, so that's why I'm a little bit all by myself. Our other co-host, I'd say. Frequent guest of honor, Sean Coleman, is in Washington, D.C. for NCIA's Lobby Days. So he's over in D.C. hanging with the very familiar crowd of the corrupt and the slimy. Not that Sean is corrupt and slimy, but he's just familiar with that crowd and, making progress. But, let's talk about this job fair today. David called in, said he wouldn't be able to make it because he was just astounded at how many people were there.
Yeah, it sounded like he was super busy when I talked to him earlier.
I was like, David, give me an estimate how many people. And he's like, I don't know, 800? Wow. 800 people. And that's insane. Like, that just shows that there are not only people who want to participate in this industry as consumers, as the recent revenue and tax dollar forecasts that have come in the last month being reported will show you. But there's also people who want to be gainfully employed by this industry, whether it's a bookkeeper or a lawyer or a beautiful brunette lobbyist like myself who happens to be single, guys. Just kidding. I am not kidding. I'm kind of kidding. I'm kidding about the advertising myself on the radio part, not kidding about this.
But she is single.
I am single. Ooh, one of your dogs just farted.
That was your breath.
No, it was not my breath. I think it was GNU. That's disgusting, GNU. That was gross. It smells terrible in here now.
Proper.
No, it was awful.
Proper.
And so 800 people. David said it was about an average of a 3-hour wait for people just to get into the fair. I mean, that's insane.
Wow.
That's what it was like opening day just to buy weed.
That's awesome.
And there's not even weed there. This is just weed jobs.
Just trying to get a job in the weed industry. Living the dream.
They want to be like us,
doing.
like you're doing. What's your job? Do you even have one?
Yeah, I make cash. I was actually in the last Hemp Connoisseur. I think they did a review on MMD, which was pretty cool. I didn't even know until somebody told me.
Props,
yo.
Yeah. How come I don't ever get any of this?
I'll hook you up.
Oh, you gonna hook it up?
Yeah, I usually don't buy any or anything like that. Just make it for all the patients. It's $10 a gram, so I think that's one of the biggest things. But that's free
for Sam.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Of your own supply, of course, not any of your caregiver supply.
No,
of course.
No.
We're not want to be operating outside any kind of regulatory structure or laws. So, yeah, that's insane to me, 800 people. And you know what else I found out the other day? So I was curious, and I happened to be talking to Med, and that's the Marijuana Enforcement Division, for those uninitiated.
Did you ask them whether they're being assholes about parties?
Yeah, usually. No. It's not them who are being assholes about parties. It's the Denver City and County Police Force. Okay. Yeah, they're the ones being dicks. Yeah, we can talk about that later. But no. So I did this Cora. It was sort of a unrelated thing to, a project I have, work related. And I just wanted to know how many badged employees we had in the state of Colorado. And for those who don't know, a badged employee is, somebody who's put in an application with Med, gone through their background check, and has been approved to work in the industry. And I understand this doesn't necessarily mean they are actively or gainfully employed in this industry, but I'm assuming from the job fair that there are people looking. And there are over 8,600 badged employees in this state. And that is a number that has increased on an average since they started collecting this data in 2011, about 600 to 800 people a year.
That's awesome.
That's crazy. That's insane. And I can only predict that I would guess that number will probably double because I've seen the way that these dispensaries who've been gearing up for, the adult use market, ever since January 1st, and how they've been doubling their staff. So, if you were to estimate that maybe 60% or even more of, these dispensaries in Colorado are to go over to, the recreation, the ones who are able to go over to the adult use market. I mean, gosh, that's, that's another increase of like 3,000 jobs. That's crazy. So I think that's exciting. What do you think? He's over here playing with marijuana. What do you got there?
I'm getting ready to smoke some White Fire from a good friend. Awesome strain, very delicious. Would you like to look at it?
Yeah. Are you trying to get me to look at your bud?
Mm-hmm.
That smells good.
Mm-hmm. We wish we had a little bit better bandwidth so we can be high def so you guys can see it. But
I would not want high def because I got these like wrinkles and crow's feet going on, and yeah.
Don't look that bad. Don't worry about it.
Thanks. I appreciate it. No, but actually I've been trying this great CBD skincare line with it's made by External and which is a company out of California, but they're moving, they're looking to expand here in Colorado, and it's purely CBD, no THC stuff. But I've been doing this really great like CBD.
Is it from? Do you know if it's from hemp? I wasn't able to ask the lady if it was from hemp.
No, it's not from hemp, but I think they're going to here in Colorado make their CBD line out of the hemp. But that's just because they can, it's just a little bit easier to. They can still make a high CBD marijuana strain and.
They're not importing the hemp, is what I'm saying.
No, it's none of that bullshit that you import from Canada that other people in the industry who shall remain nameless.
Where everybody's like, CBD, it's CBD, it's CBD. No, that's shitty CBD that you're getting. Do some research before you go buy this shitty CBD and hurt yourself.
This is an actual derived from the plant, grown in the United States, which I think will be great. So, yeah. So it's like a nice CBD mud mask. And then I have this like little spray, like use as like a toner if you wash the mud mask off, and then put some CBD lotion cream on my face. I've been getting a lot of compliments even before I've told people bad. Like, oh, your skin looks like shiny and glowy.
It does look better.
Oh, thanks. It's getting there, but I like it. I think it's relaxing. I've noticed it when I put the CBD on, and I think it's because she also has like, a lot of chamomile and all natural ingredients. I don't think you could do a CBD line and then have like chemicals, and it just doesn't jibe with the industry or with a
lot of people worried about calories and all this stuff, counting calories when they should be counting the chemicals in their food.
Exactly.
Count your chemicals, not your calories, people.
Yeah. And I think, but it makes, I put that CBD mask on, and now I just fall asleep right afterward because like it just relaxes me so much. And so now I'm like, no, it's not nice because I've had to work to do, where I'm like, you bring my work home, and it's terrible habit, but I can't help it. And so,
do you have a lighter? It's almost 4:20.
Do I have a lighter? Jesus Christ! There's one right here.
Boom. Here, hand it over.
Jeez, what the fuck? You are out of control. This is what happens when it's just the Sam and Chris show, but that's okay. I'm kind of excited. What are we gonna do? Let's do something fun.
Let's get high.
Well, besides that, like I don't know, strip radio. Take your clothes off.
I don't think people.
Yeah, that's a little unprofessional. Yeah. Why did you think that? I brought some of that skincare line though for you,
nice.
for you and your lady.
Nice, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
How about let's see if we can get some people to call in and ask.
I know I'm trying to get
questions.
Sean Coleman to call in from DC and give me an update about how.
Any of them people out there listening to us have any questions? Give us a call. We'll see if we can answer it for you.
Oh, this is totally happening right now. It's gonna be amazing. Yeah, I'm trying to get Sean to call in right now, but I doubt he will because he sucks. But
Appleman, that was some White Fire OG. When you come out here,
you got a chat box up going?
Yeah, I'm watching that chat box. So somebody was asking what kind of bud was that. So I was just letting them know. And App, when you come out here, I'll make sure we get you some of that, buddy. Make sure you get the finest.
Just keep it in the state.
The finest,
Don't leave with it.
Yeah, don't leave with it because you'll get in trouble, especially because
big chubs.
It stinks really, really, really bad. Oh, guess what time it is?
Like your dog's butt. Yeah. Oh, 4:20. Oh, what else is going on? So we got the revenue forecasted. Man, I am a terrible host all by myself. That's all right. I figure I'm charming enough to pull it off, right? Response is usually typical to that, as opposed to, just sputtering and coughing. But Yeah, whatever. Thank you. Yes, I'm a great host. So we've got, they got the revenue forecast in. The governor had an original, but his forecast was way high. And then we've got the JBC, that's Joint Budget Committee's forecast, a little bit lower than that. But in theirs, interestingly enough, I believe they included within their budget numbers, because right now, like the JBC, the Joint Budget Committee, they're in the process of where they figure set for the next fiscal year and the next budget. So, this how much this department's going to need to run, this how much Health and Human Services is going to need, this how much Corrections needs. So anyways, they were predicting the marijuana revenue. They've brought that in, and they calculated into their forecast the Tabor refund, which is kind of cool. So now, because we underestimated, I should say, how much tax revenue we were going to be collecting. For any of those who are familiar, when when every time you're going to ask for a tax hike in Colorado, which you have to do by the vote of the people, or at least a 2/3 majority of the General Assembly, but typically it goes to a vote of the people, and so you always have to ask them how much shall taxes be raised by XX amount. So it has to be very specific, and so because we underestimated, which is by no one's fault. I think it was a very difficult task to ask, legislative council, how are you going to predict this number? You don't know how many consumers there are going to be. You can sort of go off of how many patients there are in the medical marijuana registry, but you don't know how much out-of-state patients are going to come in, how many people who've been buying off the green or black market for a while. You've got people who...
people from around the world.
Around the world, yeah, this is true. You've got people who, and I can't wait to see the numbers behind this, and I'm sure there's a lot of great dispensaries out there who are probably capturing this market data as we speak. But how many people were probably just sitting at home in their 50s or 60s or 40s and never would smoke weed on their own. Maybe they used to do it back in the day, but now that it's legal, they feel comfortable being able to do it.
Yeah,
I think that's an underreported number.
I know a couple people that waited till it was legal because they thought they were going to be on a list.
Yes.
And they weren't be able to do a whole bunch of stuff, so they waited till it was legal to go buy marijuana.
Yeah, that's what I did. I legally waited to purchase. What? It's true. I did. I was the first in line in 3D. It was great.
Awesome.
I was like number 4 or something like that.
What'd you pay for, Nath?
I was at 3D. I don't know because, and the reason I don't know is because I added on other stuff. And then I don't want to say they forgot to give me a receipt, but I lost the receipt, and then which sucks. But I think my total tab was like somewhere like $120. But it's because I also bought like some. I was with Joe, my lobbying partner, Joe Magazine. He'd just blown his ACL out skiing that earlier, and so I got him some like salts and some rubs, and things, some like healing things for his leg. So it kind of fucked with my.
You know what you should
total.
do? I think you should send a text message to Dave. See if you can call in for like 5 minutes. Just tell us
how the job fair is going.
Tell us how the job fair is going.
I think that's a brilliant idea. I can't believe you actually came up with that on your own.
No, actually I didn't. I took it from Appalachian Man. So
well,
thanks, Apple Man. You are the shit.
I had kind of already thought about that. I'm just saying. That could be an idea. Is he not like listening to me talk? Is that the problem?
Probably not. I doubt that he has any time to sit by a computer, or if there's any computers in that place. All
right. Well,
oh look, we got a phone call. Let's answer it.
Is it break time yet?
No.
Oh. Who is it? Hello.
Hello.
Who is this?
This is Samantha. My name is Sean Coleman. My station is Miss Samantha Walsh.
Yeah. What's up, Sean Coleman?
What's going on? I'm calling you from our nation's capital.
Oh, my God. I'm so excited. I'm so glad you could call in. How is it?
Good.
Yeah? Is it corrupt? Is it gross? Is it slimy? How is the hill?
Windy.
It's windy. Oh, yeah. How is the weather there? They were under a few feet of snow last I checked.
Well, what I'm talking about is the winds of change.
Oh, the winds have changed. Why, Sean Coleman, whatever do you mean the winds have changed? How is...
Well, what I mean by the winds of change is that the chair of the House Tax Rate Committee is going to be introducing some legislation on comprehensive tax reform. And contained in that legislation, which I should say, as a matter of full disclosure, I don't think has a very high likelihood of passing, is some reforms on 280E, which means this.
All right, which means what?
Which means that addressing our issues has now become a part of routine lawmaking in our nation's capital.
That's progress, right? Doesn't necessarily mean anything will get done, but at least, hey, the legislation's now becoming routine and pat, right?
That's exactly correct. Because does this bill have any chance of becoming law? I would not put bet any of my money on it, but I would certainly bet some of yours.
I don't have any money, Sean.
That's exactly why I would wager it. But I do think that there is an opportunity. Rather, what I do think is that because that is now a routine part of tax reform, that means that the climate for marijuana reform in general in the nation's capital is quite routine. Goodbye, Jane West. I will talk to you later.
Jane West? Is that Jane West? Say hi, Jane West, everybody.
I'll talk to you soon. I'll give you a call later. You too.
You realize you're on the air right now, Sean.
I was aware of that. I figured we'll definitely be out late. I'm aware. I figured you're.
This isn't like a normal telephone conversation.
A little slice of real life.
Oh,
in our nation's capital.
Is that what it is? This isn't like a normal call-in where you can just like blow me off like you usually do with most. I mean, there's actual people in dead air when you do that. It's awkward for all of us.
Yes.
I think that it serves the public well, particularly your listening audience, to understand that the folks who are in the nation's capital are social, real-life human beings who are just trying to do their day, do their work, and plan happy hours, just like anybody else. We're just average Americans.
And how is Jane doing? For those of you who don't know, Jane West was recently made infamous.
Jane West is a hero.
She is
an American hero.
You just say that because she likes to smoke a PAX.
So Jane West also has a service where if you're a guest of our fine city of Denver, Colorado, that you can have a concierge service where a PAX, fully charged, will be delivered to your hotel room along with all assortments of local accoutrements, and by that I mean, of course, snack foods, locally sourced foods, things like that. I did not mean to imply that you get marijuana with your packs, because you don't, of course, but you do have you can have your packs, ready to go, fully charged.
Fully charged. That's great.
And then hand it back when you head off to the airport.
And is like at the drop box where they make you drop off your weed too, or is there actual place?
I am just saying, I wish they had that service in DC right now.
Is your PAX not charged, Sean?
Correct. It's not because I don't have a PAX in DC. Not because I don't have my PAX and I flew here. It's because I don't have it with me on my person, and I'm at a hotel where this hotel would have that. This hotel, by the way, I'm going to do a little plug for the Helix Hotel in Washington, D.C. on 14th and Rhode Island, which is the host of America's cannabis industry, as we have our lobby day fly-in here in our nation's capital.
Oh, nice. That was a good plug. Good job.
Yeah, Kimpton Resorts. Kimpton Resorts. If you support cannabis, support Kimpton.
And the other thing that, so let's get back to Jane West real quick. So those of you who don't know, Jane West was recently made national news because she's a party planner, cannabis-themed party planner, basically. She has this PR event consulting business. And she had been featured in a few news magazine stories. And one of her coworkers on the East Coast saw her smoke a vape pen. Right? It was a PAX? It was a PAX.
It was a PAX.
It was a PAX.
It was a party.
And they fired her. Because they had like one of those strict no evil demon weed policies. And then Open Vape was kind enough who was actually sponsoring the job fair today. Open Vape was pleased to offer her a job, I think, as consulting, so for brand development. So that's amazing. And what did you hear this, Sean? So the job fair today? Guess how many people?
Yes, I just first of all, I think we start the discussion about the cannabis job fair today with some facts. So Colorado's unemployment rate is below the national average, which itself is the lowest it's been in some, 3 or 4 years. So it's not that we have a rampant unemployment problem. It's that we have a tremendous interest in the opportunities that are available for employment in the cannabis industry.
Yep. That's exactly what I was saying. I'm saying this is not about people who just want to be consumers in the market. This is about people who just want to be active participants. Now they want jobs in this industry. That's insane. And they had
and they want jobs even if they already have a job. This wasn't the unemployment line. This is a line of people who are like, I have a good job today, but I want to be involved in this new industry. And I would leave my current job to be involved in that new industry. So for employers who think it's a good idea to go around firing all of your employees that use cannabis, I think that they should consider whether or not those employees might not just, and frankly, some of their best employees might not just select themselves out because they have an opportunity in a non-discriminatory workplace.
Oh, I absolutely agree. And they're at over 800. We are estimating, I shouldn't say over, but we're estimating about 800 people at today's job fair. David was saying, who's there, that's why I'm all alone right now, because he just couldn't make it in. He's insanely busy there. He said there's a 3-hour wait just to get in. I mean, it's like people are buying weed, and they're not even selling weed. They're just selling weed jobs. And it's still a 3-hour wait.
Right.
That's crazy. I love it. And we were just
well,
saying...
Samantha, I apologize. I do have to run.
You have to run. That's right. We got to go on a break
I
here
am
soon.
outside. Well, the rest of the cannabis industry here in D.C. is plotting and scheming on how we are going to bring this blessing of the marijuana economy to other states. So I do have to go, but thanks for giving me a chance to catch up with you.
Real quick, Sean. Real quick.
Yes.
Everybody really misses...
Yes, you've been doing a great job holding on the board. Thank you so much.
It was not just that, but everyone misses me, right? And they wish I was there?
That's exactly what they said.
Is that what they said?
That's how I remember it.
Okay. I don't believe you, but that's going to make me feel a little bit better.
You may very well not believe me, but I couldn't possibly comment.
You know what? Go fuck yourself. We're done. Cut him off. Cut his mic. Cut his mic. Cut his mic. I'm going to do my Nancy Grace impersonation. Cut his mic. That Mason Tavert, cut his mic. Cut his mic. Hang up on him. Christian, hang up on him.
I'm going to go, so I'll just...
cut his mic. Christian, hey, cut his mic. For fuck's sake. Did you cut his mic? Yes. See? That's my Nancy Grace impersonation. Cut his mic. Mason Tavert, cut Mason Tavert's mic. She's crazy. Well, we're going to go on a break here. So we'll be back in a little bit.
Call Connoisseur at 1-800-420-5757 for all your insurance needs. Connoisseur understands the risks you face each day, and we are there to protect your business and your investment. Since 2010, Connoisseur has been serving the cannabis industry nationwide. Call Connoisseur at 1-800-420-5757 or visit us on the web at connoisseur.com to learn more about our insurance and risk management services. Proud member of the NCIA.
Cannapunch is a delicious and effective medical marijuana beverage proudly made right here in Colorado. Each bottle is freshly infused with 100% pure flower extract from the highest grade marijuana plants available today. Using proprietary extraction methods, every bottle of Cannapunch is consistently and reliably infused with an exact milligram dosage that you can count on to relieve your symptoms each and every time. Cannapunch is delicious. There's never any medicine-y taste. We use only 100% cannabis flowers. No trim or byproducts are ever used in Cannapunch. It does not require refrigeration and comes in convenient, resealable multi-dose bottles from 60 milligrams to 200 milligrams. We have drinks with dosage that works best for you. Cannapunch is available in a variety of delicious flavors like black cherry, watermelon, pineapple mango, and blue raspberry. And we now have strain-specific beverages available just for you. Cannapunch is delicious, convenient, consistent, and effective. Give it a try and experience the Cannapunch difference.
I'm Gary Johnson, and you're listening to iCannabis Radio, and I want to say, talk it up, Colorado.
Okay, now we're back on. Oh, okay, we're back on. Hi, we're back. I'm doing a great job, right? All by myself?
Yeah, you're doing a good job.
I know everybody's missed me because I've been so busy at the Capitol, but doing nothing really. Just surfing their free Wi-Fi, getting a little porn in. I do what I can for the American people. It's great. You don't care. So let's talk about the tax revenues. So what? Are you showing me something on Facebook?
No.
That was inappropriate. That had a cuss word in it. Yes, it did. It had the P word in it. You know it did. Yes, it did. God, you're dirty. This is why we can't. This is why we don't have nice things. Because of people like, because of you. You're like smoking weed on the air. You're like showing me dirty like memes that you post on your Facebook.
This is iCannabis Radio.
This is iCannabis Radio. Am I supposed to say that? Oh wait. Oh, you're pointing out the fact that this is sort of laissez-faire of radio. Oh, do I need to explain to you what that means? It's French. It means laissez-faire. So there you go. So let's talk about this tax money. Like, what? So if you had, so the government or the governor thought it was going to be about like 130 million. JBC came in and said, we think it's probably going to be significantly less than that. I think they were probably about like 40 extra million after you refund everything to everybody who deserves the refund. Do you think they should just refund it to the cannabis people who had to pay the tax? Or, I mean, under Colorado state law.
No, I think it should go into Colorado, like help rebuild roads, schools. Number one thing, make schools.
I know
better,
it'd be nice if we
all
could
our
keep
schools.
Well, there is an
How about
option.
we make Colorado the number one in schools out of the whole nation?
I know, wouldn't that be
Wouldn't
nice?
that be cool?
That would be great.
We sell marijuana and we're still number one.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a possibility. You see, the General Assembly does have the option of it would take 2/3, I believe, of the legislature, but they can ask the people in November.
Like we see all these billboards around when driving around. What grade did your school get? What grade did your school get? Have you seen those?
No, I don't really read billboards.
Oh,
There was a while there I didn't even
because
think.
you need to stay off your phone when you're driving.
That's probably true. It won't be a problem anymore if Javon Melton's
we
bill.
got a call.
Oh, we got a call. Who's on the air?
No, you're on iCannabis Radio. Who is this?
Why are you taking my line, dude?
Hi, this is Larissa Boulevard calling in.
Hi, Larissa Boulevard. How are you? Larissa she's my suite mate in the office building.
Oh, nice.
We're across the offices way from each other. What's up, Larissa?
Nothing much. What's up with you? I've got a cold, so bear with me.
You've got a
Cold.
cold?
A cold, yeah.
You should huff on some of that OG Fire Kush, right?
OG lemon kush, though. That's really freaking on. Right on.
So what's your question? You got something you want to talk about? How would you spend the marijuana tax revenue, Larissa?
You know,
The one that you fought so hard against?
I would say on pretty much anything what they're proposing, for starters. And then, I don't know, roads maybe? Have you driven around Denver lately? Or is it just me with all these potholes and my car? I have an SUV practically getting eaten up by them.
Oh, I know. Pot for potholes, right? That's the way it should be.
Yes.
Now the JBC did propose in their alternative proposal to what the governor suggested that $15 million of the money go into the general fund, which would be used to fix schools and fix potholes. But do you think that let's say they get like $100 million, right? So they do have to they have two options. They can either just do a refund over to in whatever the excess was, so that'd be a $30 million refund back to the taxpayers, or so we'd all get a check for I don't know how many people. I don't know what the population is in Colorado. God, I suck at my job. But maybe you get a check back for $100 or $200 or something like that. Or do you think that they should put a question on November's ballot and let the people decide whether or not they want the money back, and then ask if maybe it goes back to the general fund, and then we do get to fund things like schools and roads and.
Oh yeah, I say definitely put it to a vote. Because if it just goes arbitrarily to anybody in the state, it's going to go to voters who didn't vote for A64.
Yeah.
And it's going to help fund people who are against those.
Yeah.
And then if it goes to vote, it gives us a choice.
Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, put it on the ballot in November. Let the people decide. I bet the people decide for the General Assembly to keep it, because I really do feel that people wanted that revenue, no matter how much it was, and even if it was more, to go and fund these things that we really care about. I mean, I care about the fact that the highway, US 36 has now been sold out from under us to Goldman Sachs. That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Because we can't afford to fund it. I think it's ridiculous that we cut.
And we have like this endless flow of money coming in and out from marijuana legalization, and they're just so afraid to look at it, and it's so stigmatized. They're so afraid to spend it for things that aren't marijuana related.
Well, I know. Well, there was if they put it to the general fund, that would work. And I think that, they do want to dedicate, I think JBC had forecasted about $10 million for substance abuse, not youth marijuana abuse prevention, but just general substance abuse prevention, which I think is a good idea. I also think that part of substance use, youth prevention amongst our youth would be, robust early childhood education programs, after school programs for the arts, athletics, give kids something to do. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Keep them engaged.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you think about it, most children, most teenagers that start using drugs is because their attention isn't being diverted on other things. So, that was actually my own personal experience. I grew up in a single parent home, and so my mom couldn't afford to, and nor could she even arrange, because she worked 2 jobs, to have me go play sports or to, have like a robust line of after-school activities. So I would go party instead. And, and I saw the same thing happen with my goddaughter. And my best friend, her father, tried everything to prevent her, but the one thing he didn't do was have her in sports, not because he didn't want to. She only visited him on the weekends, and her mom had custody of her during the weekdays. And so her dad was trying to encourage her to play sports, but her mom just didn't encourage it at home. And same thing, she started partying. I'm not saying that's like a 10 for 10 thing, but I know retroactively that, if I think back, if my mom would have, had more time to have me play sports, I definitely probably would not have started partying as early as I did.
Oh, I agree 100% with that assessment. And I think that, because Colorado had experienced sort of a rough downturn in the economy over the last few years, because of TABOR restrictions, we've had to cut and cut and cut from K-12 education, and you have to get rid of all those ancillary programs, after school programs, the things that we like to fund. And now we have an opportunity to replenish those programs, make them, things that actually enrich a child's, formative years. So if I would prefer the arts, athletics, again, early childhood education, preschool, things like that, we occupy their time, show the gift, and enrich their education. I think, there's plenty of studies out there that show that children who are engaged in, things like athletics and the arts tend to be more successful adults and perform better in school.
Sure. And they perform better in teams. They have much more successful lives. In team work environments, because that's the way work environments are nowadays. Everything, you have to be able to be a team player, and that you learn that as a childhood. But back to TABOR. So, if there's a surplus, don't we have to, under TABOR, vote for where those taxes go?
I think there's 2 options. Or there might be 3 options. I was sort of tuning. I wasn't trying to tune out yesterday during JBC. Sometimes these things just happen. Thanks, ADD. They can either just automatically cut a check, I think, to the taxpayers, or they can ask the taxpayers to put it back, to let the General Assembly keep it. I have a feeling they would have to probably question about where the fund will get spent, the excess money. I have a feeling the General Assembly will ask that it probably just go to the general fund so they can have that flexibility and be able to, put money where it belongs. I don't know. That's going to be an interesting debate at the legislature. I think that's actually going to be the most fun. To be honest, the session's been kind of slow and boring, but, we still have a potential caregiver bill out there. Who knows?
What's up with that?
I've heard it's been sort of put on the brakes, but then I've heard that, they want to get everyone to the table, like all industry, and maybe discuss whether or not what the options are with that. I think one of the things they're maybe looking at is, there's a couple of things I've heard. I've heard about maybe doing some kind of statewide zoning or capping on recreational plants, sort of at for personal use, sort of like what Denver does. I've heard, and of course, this is all rumors until you actually see something come out. You can't ever really confirm it. I've heard some kind of licensing or oversight of caregivers. I don't know if they would be licensed or not. I've heard auditing of plant counts for patients, which that one actually kind of disturbs me the most. I mean, not to mention the licensing of caregivers. I don't know. You as a Democrat, sometimes I feel like it could go either way on that. Just because, like, you license massage therapists or naturopaths and stuff like that. Maybe caregivers should be licensed too. I don't know. I think that's something that could be debated. The libertarian in me is like, no way, Trace Ace. But
the libertarian in me is like, no.
Yeah.
Because, for example, I'm a patient, and I'm also a caregiver for my uncle who has MS, and we grow our own medicine, and he can't with his MS, and I'm just taking care of him and myself. It would be a financial burden for me to have to go get a license when I'm already having to pay, for my electricity. And the reason I'm going for myself is so that I don't have to pay any more money outside of my home.
I know. And the caregiver market tends to be the compassionate, underserved population that, people who are really sick, really need this medicine, can't afford it, can't afford to go to a dispensary, can't afford to pay the upcharges. You're talking about a lot of these people are homebound, because of their illnesses. I think, and I think that's a legitimate concern. And I don't think that that's something that should be always viewed with such skepticism or,
But I can see the point. I can see why they would be concerned, because the biggest thing that we are under the microscope for is diversion.
Yep.
And so with caregivers, it is unregulated. So I can see both sides. I can just see, like, from my own perspective and how it would hurt somebody like me, a college student working part-time. I definitely can't afford to, with as much as I have a very painful, I have endometriosis, not to be so personal.
Or maybe you just,
but it's very painful, and I go through a lot of medical marijuana just to, it would be that or take 3 Vicodin or more a day, and I'm just not willing to do that.
Yeah.
And so, but it's a consistent pain that comes and goes, and I can't, forecast when the pain's going to hit me. But when it does, sometimes I end up in the hospital and they give me morphine. So just to give an idea of how much the pain how bad it can be. So I like tinctures. And
which is why the plant count auditing actually really bothers me, because, and you hear, like, so you'll hear a story, but there's this one doctor and all he ever does is always prescribes everybody 75 plants. There's never any kind of variation. And of course that's not, he's just, being lazy, and he's not actually addressing his patient's needs. But there are people out there that need their 99 plant counts because they are in severe pain, because you have to make these plants into a concentrate. And and it takes a lot of trim and it takes a lot of flour to make a concentrate. It just does. And these concentrates, you will go through them fast.
And then if you're a high-level pain patient like I am, or like my uncle, we use the whole flour.
Yeah.
So, that's like, that jumps, the cost up even further. So it's just, I can see why they're proposing that, and I can even see why there's an issue with plant counts, but I can see where it would be a mess because there's just a diverse crowd of people.
Yeah.
You've got people like myself, and then you have people that just don't want to be legitimate and want to stay on the black market, and that's going to hurt our attempts at legalization also. So, it's a case of where there's bad apples that are hurting it for the good people.
I agree. And I think, look, if these are things that the legislature just feels that it has to be looked at, then, you've got CDPHE, who's in charge of the medical marijuana patient registry, who's in charge of these caregivers. They've asked for $3 million and 29 full-time employees just to manage a database of 100,000 people, which I don't even know if the budget is that big for, the Medicare, if they have any employees who handle Medicare or Medicaid, but that's for another story. But, listen, if they're going to do it, they need to be thoughtful about it. I think they need to take some of that surplus, and I know they want to funnel it back into medical marijuana research, which I also support. But
yes,
I would like to see maybe some of that maybe used to subsidize lower income patients who just can't afford it. Like that then be cognizant and be aware and be judicious about it and say, look, this is, what's the intent of this program? This program's to help sick people, very, very sick people. So let's help them. So let's make sure that it's intact. Let's do it with integrity, and let's, use some of that money, subsidize people who can't afford a licensing fee. And then there you go. Yeah. Use some of that money to provide other services, transportation needs for people who can't get in and out to their caregiver. Things like that. Let's be real liberals. I would like that.
Yeah, that would be nice. I would like that too. Because it's a big effort having to drive around, and for people who have multiple patients, for example, who have those delivery services, it can be quite an overhead. And then there's people like, okay, so here's a really good example of when the system doesn't work, especially for people who are disabled, like my uncle. He can't drive or walk. And while I was out of town, living in Virginia, he had a person, he wasn't his registered caregiver, but the guy was, I guess, going and he had a delivery service, but he was selling my uncle an ounce at a time. So let's say, he goes through like an ounce or so a week. And he was pinching the bag almost a quarter and then charging him almost $100 more than what he would have spent at a dispensary.
Oh, what a douche.
I know. And I just happened, I had just moved back to Colorado, and the guy came back around. Like I told my uncle, I said, I don't like his vibe. Let's just not, I don't want him coming back around anymore. The guy showed up at my door unannounced, trying to sell my uncle a bag of weed. And I just eyeballed it really quick, and he had, and what's scary is that, he was going to different dispensaries and buying marijuana there. He had a bag full of like packages from multiple dispensaries. And when, he was handing me the medicine, and I could see that it was clearly short, and I was like, no, absolutely not. We don't need your services anymore. I'm back. And he was pretty aggressive about it. He kept calling, and finally he just stayed out. But so I can see where there's some, issues that we should probably address, because people who are sick are very vulnerable. And this is a good example of somebody taking advantage of somebody who's sick. So I can also see, like, if you've got caregivers that are tending to multiple invalid patients, that, maybe there is a sense of security for licensing. And for me, being the libertarian in me is like biting my tongue as I say that. So.
That's okay. You can come over to the dark side. I decided the other day that I'm a liberal-tarian. Get it? Because a nice little play on words there, yeah.
I just don't know. It's like cognitive dissonance, like I'm thinking, there's so many great ideas the Democratic Party has, right, that we need for this world, not just this country, but, like our energy crisis, the solution isn't fossil fuels. We need to start moving forward to a cleaner energy future, because it's just not sustainable. Whether it's causing climate change or not is irrelevant. It's just not sustainable.
Oh my God, I'm so glad Joe's not here to hear this. He'd be losing his shit.
I bet he would. But he could. I would invite him out to DC to meet some of my friends that worked at the last company that I worked at, which was a clean tech company, and he would be just blown over by how many Republicans support clean tech, but it's not as many as we need, because their money is heavily entrenched in big oil, and they have the money and the equipment to do fracking, but it's just not sustainable. We can't do without water. It's just, for me, it's common sense, and I can see I can see making money off of solar and wind. Like, just, it's energy, and it's a commodity that's going to be traded one way or another, whether it's clean energy or dirty fuels. So it's another issue of change. There's people like me that tend to lean more right because I'm very free market, but I can see where a clean energy future will work. But I can see that, and it doesn't bother me. But when you have other people who have all their money, their whole legacy is built on fossil fuels, they're not going to change real easily.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like to see you come over to the dark side. It's okay, Larissa. But we're going to go on a break here, and I want to thank Larissa for calling in. It's always wonderful, and I will see you at work.
I will see you at work.
All right.
Have a good afternoon.
You too.
Independent Records and Videos has been your locally owned and operated choice for music, movies, and lifestyle accessories since 1978. Independent Records and Videos has 7 locations from Denver to Colorado Springs to Pueblo to serve your entertainment needs. Whether it's vinyl, CDs, DVDs, books, smoking accessories, or hundreds of other fun and fanciful items, Independent is ready and waiting to make your dreams come true. We are always buying, selling, and trading vinyl, CDs, books, and DVDs, so sell yours and buy ours. Independent Records and Videos, your entertainment headquarters. Check us out at beindependent.com or on Facebook.
iVita Wellness is committed to compassionate patient care while providing the highest quality medicine at an affordable price. At iVita Wellness, patients can get top shelf ounces for $150 every day. iVita Wellness also carries pharmaceutical grade pure CO2 oil. iVita Wellness is located in Uptown Denver on 1616 Pearl Street, open 7 days a week from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. You can reach us at 303-952-9150 or our website at www.ivitawellness.com. iVita Wellness is Denver's Compassionate Care Center.
National Cannabis Industry Association would like to thank its members who represent the leading professional businesses in America's emerging legal cannabis market. NCIA is the only organization that has unified legitimate cannabis business across the nation to fight for real reform in Washington, D.C. For more information or to make your business a member, visit us online at thecannabisindustry.org.
That's good beer. And I want some more. Can I have some more? Where'd you get this? Is there a keg here? Where? What? What do you mean secret? Fuck your secrets. Where's the keg?
It's a producer and lawyer cake.
Yeah, I'm a lawyer.
No, you're not.
I could be one. I play one on TV. Does that count? No, your dog's whining.
It's all right. He can whine all he wants, little girl.
All right, so we're back. I'm going to talk a little bit about hemp. Super exciting. The hemp registration process. Yeah, shut the fuck up, GNU. God. What the hell? We're trying to have a radio show here. You're being rude. He is. He's being rude. Get control of your dog. He's whining. He needs to pee, dude. You need to take your dog out for a walk. I can handle it all by myself. Don't worry.
Okay.
I don't think he trusts me, listening audience of America. I don't think he trusts me all by myself. So we'll talk about hemp. Hemp registration. We made history in America. You can now register in Colorado to be a hemp grower. And this is amazing. I'm going to say this. Ever since hemp registration has blown up or started, my phone's been ringing off the hook. I'm getting dozens of emails a day from people in the hemp industry or wanting to start up in the hemp industry. So, everybody from, I've met some amazing entrepreneurs, people who really have their act together, everything from building materials to body care products to the Whole Foods market to, fiber. There's, if you go to growhempcolorado.com, I think if you even email info@growhempcolorado.com, and I believe, and I hope Veronica Caprio out there, if you're listening, that I'm not screwing this up totally. But anyways, there's a publishing company that is looking for farmers to grow hemp for them so they can turn that herd into paper and start producing some publications out of hemp paper, which is amazing. Jason loves getting ready to go on his hemp house. I think he's got the plans ready to go, and they're going to make it like 6 stories or something like that, and it's going to be this amazing advocacy hub. It's been phenomenal. It's so exciting. We've got a couple of things we got to clean up in the bill. We're going to clean up in the program. We're going to take care of that 10-acre minimum for R&D, so that's going to go away. We're going to get rid of the growing for outdoor only provision. That's also going to go away. So if you're registering to be a hemp farmer, this is what I tell everybody, go ahead and register commercial and R&D. I don't think there's a problem using it at the same location because we're going to fix that. And then that way it makes it easier for you to transition over if you needed to do R&D, but you wanted to build like an inside grow house or something like that. To transfer over once AG does the rulemaking to reflect the changes that are coming this session. And I've been meeting with CU and CSU about research and development that they want to participate in with the whole cannabis plant. Christian, one of my goals is, and he's not really listening, so I'm just going to pontificate for a while. But one of my goals, and I think a lot of the industries behind this on hemp and marijuana side, is to hopefully use some of this marijuana tax revenue to create a cannabis research fund that will, be open up to the entire plant. So it's not just industrial hemp. It's not just marijuana, medical marijuana. It's not just market research behind the adult use market and industry. It's all of it, which will be great. Which is what we need. We need to know everything that's going on because we got like 5 different things going on at once, and everything should be studied. Everything should be funded and researched and developed. And it's going to be great. It's so amazing to be a pioneer in this. And so, one of the things we're looking at is, especially if it says cannabis research fund, then we can open that up to industrial hemp research and development. And now with Jared Polis's amendment that went through on the Farm Bill, if you're a professor for CU or CSU and you're doing research, if you're doing research on hemp and you use some Colorado State funds from this research development, you now qualify for matching funds from the federal government. So, because now it's legal to study this on a federal level. So that's exciting. But, we want to make sure that they have the state funds to get those matches. So that's one of the things we're pursuing. And what about you, Christian? I'm going to keep drinking beer because you're ignoring me. I'm just talking to a wall right now. It's okay.
You're talking to everybody.
I don't know the fuck Rush Limbaugh does this shit for like 4 hours a day all by himself. I guess he has a lot of lunatic people that call in, but any more lunatic people to call in is what I'm trying to say. If anyone wants to call in, that's what I'd like to do. What are you doing next weekend? You? Working? Do you want to go to Sex Pot Comedy?
Where's that at?
It's at Oriental Theater. It's usually it's gonna be on Friday, so next Friday, and it's gonna be amazing. We went last month. So Denver Relief sponsors this, and or Sex Pot Comedies. It's kind of the same people, but it used to be they used to do it just out of their little pizzeria, Sexy Pizza, and it grows so big, right? What are you doing? Don't breathe weird into the microphone.
I'm not. What are you talking about?
God, you should not have gotten high before work. You should have made the safer choice right here. This is a safer choice.
Why are you drinking on the medical marijuana show?
Because it's there. My throat hurts from having to talk all this time by myself.
Hemp Connoisseur show.
Yeah, the Hemp Connoisseur show.
You parched.
Hops and hemp are from the same family, so it's sort of quasi-related. That's my science answer for you. Boom. Now what are you going to do? Anyways, so Sexy Pizza used to have the Sex Pot Comedy show once a month, and it's gotten so popular that they now do it at the Oriental Theater. And we went last month for Joe Megacy's birthday party. So there's a bunch of us, and it was so funny. Nikki Glazier was the headliner. She's this female comic. I was tears. I was laughing so hard. And it was just great. It was a great time. So we had so much fun. We want to make this are you going to blow smoke? Yes, you are. You're going to blow smoke while I'm trying to, hold it in. I want to see how long you can hold your breath. So anyway, and it was so much fun. I was laughing so hard. Tears coming down. So we decided to make this a monthly event. And so I'll give them the free plug on the radio. Sex Pot. It's at Oriental Theater, which is in the Fufui area, Highlands. I think it's like Tennyson and 42nd or something like that. 44th, yeah. Oh, you go to a lot of hip hop shows there. You still holding your breath, boy? No, I think you're slowly letting it out. Come on. Hold it. Come on. I'm going to make you laugh. That's how I'm going to make you not hold your breath any longer. So, oh, there it is. I think you were cheating, but that's me. So, and so I think we're going to make that a monthly tradition. It'll be a lot of fun. So now you're dabbed the fuck out. Smoke the fuck out.
Haven't done that in a while.
How's your lungs? They feel good?
Yeah.
You feel good after that? A little bit.
Just a little.
little baby vagina cough over there.
A baby vagina cough.
I don't know. I felt like that was the way of calling you a sissy. I know, it's so sexist of me. I'm such a bad feminist. I'm a terrible feminist. I really am.
Wow.
What? Baby little vagina cough.
awesome. You're funny.
Sometimes. On a case. See, you admit I'm funny, right?
So every Friday, it's
the last or third Friday of the month. I think they changed it to the third Friday of the month.
Friday of the month.
What are you doing for St. Patty's Day? You gonna go make the safer choice? Get hammered?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get fucking high.
Are you going to Kegs and Eggs?
No, I'm gonna go stand out of line with all them weirdos.
Do you at least go downtown and get
No,
cray cray?
actually, I have a friend that works the door there, so I can always just skip the line
At
and
Lodo?
get there. But yeah, but I never go.
I always feel like I'm too old anymore. Like, I don't want to go out with
Yeah,
frat boys and like the bro culture.
I just hate seeing.
Sup, bro?
I don't know. I hate seeing people all drunk and stupid. Not that I've never done it before, but I don't know. I'm just over it.
I
already.
love being drunk and stupid.
Yeah,
It's
no.
so much fun.
No, not me.
I know. I got like work things to
I
do.
like a beer here and there, but like a 6-pack will last me a week.
Oh God, I can't even open a bottle of wine. I'll open a bottle of wine at home and I will pour a glass and I will get halfway through that glass and then that's it. And then I cork the wine and then I just sits there and goes bad. I don't know. I just don't drink at home. It's so weird to me. I don't even smoke that much pot at home, to be honest. I get it out.
Oh, I do.
And then I'll fall asleep before
I had a
even smoke
bong
it.
and I smoked a lot when I had my bong, and then I broke it.
You broke it?
Yeah.
Probably because you were high.
No, because I was washing my dog.
Look, and you had to think about it. You had to think of a lie.
No,
you had to think of a lie to
I
tell.
was washing my dog,
you had
and
to.
I had the bong next to me, and when I got up, I freaking hit the bong over. So don't get high while you're washing your dog.
You could be a great PSA. Have you seen the new drunk DUID?
Oh yeah, I
did you see
seen
that?
last night.
He's
That
all
was-
putting the like television up, and Joe had sent that around to like we have this like fun email chain. That
I started laughing when I seen it. I was like,
that guy
hilarious.
is clearly drunk.
That is hilarious. Do not smoke pot and get high. It's still a DUI.
Oh wait, what? Which one is that?
didn't see that
no,
one?
I saw the one where the guy put his flat screen up. He's all laughing, and then like it goes, "Getting high while installing your TV is now legal in Colorado, but driving to buy a new one isn't." And it's like, "Don't drive high, you get a DUI." What is yours? I want to hear
The
you.
one I seen, it's this guy grilling he's trying to grill a steak, and he's just pushing the grill button, the igniter, and he just keeps pushing it and pushing it and pushing it, and you see his friends and this girl like looking at him all weird, and they're like, "Well, you can't drive and get high. You can't drive while high, so you can't go get propane or something stupid like that." And I just started laughing my ass off. I'm like,
can
really? I'll just walk, hop on my bike.
Or maybe I just wouldn't have been that stupid and would have got propane in the first place.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I know I'm cooking a steak, I don't use propane. I charcoal.
I think that's the one thing that actually, I mean, like, whatever. These stupid fucking campaigns are always stupid whenever they do them. Like, even the DUI ones.
And it was like 11 at night when I seen it. I'm like, really?
I know.
Funny.
But, like, whatever. I think the one issue I take is that they, so far now with your description and then the ad I saw, is that they portray the stoners as like so stupid. Like, oh my God.
We're stupid, but how much tax revenue and what's going on right now?
I know, right?
The job fair. That's how dumb we are, dumb and lazy we are.
I know. I think that's the one thing that makes me mad. Obviously it's not a true stereotype, but I think that makes me upset the most. Is like you could have at least so somebody just passed out. Hi, is that the real thing, or at least stopped it? Like just maybe not paying. I don't know.
Or just eating a lot of food.
Even that's a stereotype.
I
don't ever really get the munchies when I'm high.
I do.
You do?
Yeah.
I
don't eat a lot, but when I'm like, I have that sweet tooth, or I get down.
See, it's different. I like eating while I'm high because I think the food tastes like really good. You're like, oh my God, this sushi is amazing.
I get hungry
great.
like an hour later though. After I eat some sushi, I'm like hungry an hour later.
Oh yeah. You gotta get good sushi.
Oh, I do get some good sushi.
You get like the really fancy rolls. I get really into the fancy rolls. Sometimes I get too much. I'm like, this isn't even sushi anymore. This is just delicious, deep fat fried awesome.
Yeah, I had this one that had like mangoes and strawberries.
Oh, I love mango with
It was pretty
sushi.
good. It was pretty good.
Where'd you have it from?
Sedona's.
Oh, Sedona's great. I like Sedona's.
Pretty bomb, yeah.
Sushi Sasa is a great. You get the number 9. You got to have them to add strawberries to it, and it's fabulous.
You need to go to
it's really good.
Namiko's and try the line of fire.
Yeah.
Namiko's, it's the shit.
Do you think they'll ever make hemp sushi with the little hemp seeds on the sushi?
I thought somebody was like already.
They've been doing.
I thought there was a sushi place that was doing something with.
They're doing something with marijuana, like where they pair it, but not even like pairing it. They do some kind of. I think it's like they just tell you what will go with it. Like, oh, you eat the fucking. I should stop saying fuck so much on the radio. Who gives a fuck? You eat this mango, unagi roll, and then like it goes great with some sour diesel. I think that's what they do. They definitely don't let you smoke it and eat it on site.
That's some patoonie.
What?
That's some bullshit.
Yeah. What'd you say?
I don't know.
Patoonie?
Yeah, pretty much.
What the fuck is patoonie?
I have no idea. I was gonna say some patootie or something.
This is what happens when you like hold in your weed, dude. Now this happens. You should have exhaled. You should have exhaled.
I think it's that time.
Is it that time to go?
I think
I did a whole show kind of by myself.
You did.
I'm really proud of me, and I thought I was kind of funny.
I'm proud of you too.
My throat hurts. I'm gonna need some beer. I'm a little tired of talking. I'm gonna start drinking. I'm gonna celebrate now. Woohoo! Look, I got a beer.
All right, so
is that on delay? When this shows up, is it on delay or is it goes live on the YouTube?
We have a little bit of delay. Oh. But go ahead. Anybody you want to thank?
I would like to thank God first and foremost up above. All right. That's my Matthew McConaughey. Pretty good, huh? Yeah. No. Anyways, I'd like to thank Matthew McConaughey. I would like for giving me that great show, True Detective, which I had a great smoke and binge marathon on this weekend. But I haven't seen episode 7 or 8, so no one spoil it. And then I would like to thank David Madalena. I would like to thank the people of Colorado who voted to keep marijuana legal and now who have created such a demand for jobs in this industry that my co-host was taken away and now the spotlight can be on me 100%. That kind of thing makes me so happy. I would like to thank GNU for only farting once this whole time. So good job, puppy. And then I'd like to thank my wonderful producer, Christian. And his awesome hemp necklace. And then I'd like to thank Mike Bowman, who got me into this hemp business, and he's just been a great inspiration. I'd like to thank Sean Coleman, who called in from Washington, D.C., and took a break from scamming on ladies and corrupting our wonderful institution of democracy to pontificate for a little while. And I'd like to thank Larissa Bolivar for coming over to the dark side of liberalism. And I'd like to thank this beer. And then I'm done. What do I say? Oh, yeah. And thanks for tuning in, Colorado and the United States, and peace, love, and hempiness.